Hey there, and welcome to Young Not Dumb, a podcast for young adults who desire to lead by example and walk in truth. Here, we dive into your real questions and offer honest, practical answers rooted in God's Word. Our goal is to help you navigate life with confidence so that you can step into the purpose that God has for you.
Okay, Logan, brand new married.
Brand new married?
Brand new married.
Okay,
here we go. All right.
Just roll with it, dude. We want to hear your comparison in this episode.
So what? You are kidding, right?
Nope.
Okay. Logan is newly married. What are you learning from going from being a single man to a married man? Have you learned anything about selfishness yet, or how to be less selfish, or whatever? Have you had any experience with that?
Well, yesterday we went to McDonald's as good newlywed people should.
Oof.
Mackenzie.
I'm not a McDonald's
I
fan.
spent almost twice as much money as I normally spend at McDonald's. And it was just
Because there's two people.
Probably like over
there's two people,
$20.
and of course we have to share French fries with the dog. So
Wait,
What? You have to share French fries with the dog?
we don't share them, but she gets like one.
So you
couple.
put it in your mouth and then...
No,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
just you. Just you. Only you do that. Actually, that's a
Like you feed a baby
experience.
bird.
No,
That's
but
nasty.
it is something you have to.
I like the Lady in the Trampet with the spaghetti.
Oh, Lady in the Tramp.
insane.
Oh,
Me and Maya, my
I've
little
never really
golden
had
retriever.
a dog. I don't really enjoy dogs. A lot of people know that about me. I don't like having them around or whatever. But I've learned to try to let it slide, get over myself a little bit, and try to enjoy the presence of a little rat dog.
Yeah.
Trying my best.
I can't wait till Father's Day because I am going to honor all the dog dads and I'm going to make Logan stand up.
No.
I will not stand.
Yeah, no, you're going to get us in trouble if you start provoking this crowd.
yeah,
Yes.
no, for real. I stand more in the camp of like, it probably helps. Like, I'm allergic to pets, like all hairy things. So
That's what selfish people say. So they don't have to have pets in
Sorry,
the house.
Tavian. I'm
Allergic
allergic.
guys.
I wish I was.
Yeah.
That's
Well, you could take this little pill.
yeah, you can just take a pill every day for the rest of your life. Oh, no, thank you. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, I just am not a huge pet. And it's just a practicality. I feel like you and I are the same on that. It's just, you have to clean up after them, the hair. Like, oh, you could get a hyperallergenic dog that doesn't shed. No, they still do.
Okay, but so the Logan is just married. Lily loves the dog. What if Tavian just all of a sudden just brought a dog home? It's like, oh, I just want the kids to have a
Do you
dog.
want to know a funny story?
Sure.
I told Tavian when we were newly married, I said, if you ever get a speeding ticket, just go and buy the dog the same day because I just want to be mad once.
That's good. That's
funny.
wise. I like that.
I said,
So if he ever brings a dog home, that would be so hilarious. A dog and a ticket.
because I'm the budgeter, like I already don't want to blow money on dumb stuff. So like I was like, if you get a speeding ticket, I swear, just please get the dog the same day because I just want to be mad once.
That's given me some ideas, man.
Yeah.
Just kill two birds. Like she's
That's
already
right.
gonna get angry. That honestly, that might have happened with my golf simulator. I just bought it. Kill two birds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Update. We didn't even tell the podcast.
I bought a golf simulator, guys.
We had a podcast. If you go back and listen to it, it's okay
Can
for Christians to have nice things.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would never buy a golf.
Well, he was just like,
And I bought
I would
one.
buy it, but I mean, it's really expensive. And
Okay.
then literally, while I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, Michael just bought a podcast,
he
I
just
bought a golf
bought a
simulator
podcast.
2 days before that podcast came
actually
out.
aired.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I bought it and it was a little selfish. I'm not going to lie. But my wife, being unselfish, told me to get it and said I could put it in the garage. She is the most selfless person I've ever met in my life.
is.
I love that girl.
Yeah.
I love her so much. Mwah.
You want me to tell you something else about selflessness with Hannah? We may have told this story before. It could go TMI because we're going into the bathroom, people.
Oh, no.
Oh my.
What?
She said, why should guys have to lower the seat?
Oh, she's the best. She's the greatest.
Why should guys have to lower the seat? Why can't women just do it when they go?
Oh my gosh! Why?
That's the
My
daughter
wife
that
is
we raised.
amazing. She's
is
just the best woman I've ever met in my life.
That's how
I love
selfless
her.
that girl is.
So
She literally
this
is amazing.
episode is for everyone but Hannah.
Literally.
I'm telling you,
Hannah,
that
take
is not
the day
something
off.
that is not something that she struggles with. She does not struggle with selfishness.
No.
She is
Yeah,
so
maybe we need
selfless.
her on to
She's
do, like,
amazing.
tips, please.
I'm selfish.
Yeah.
So
That'd be good.
since we all deal with it, the question today is, how do I become less selfish?
Yes,
Yeah. How do
we
exactly.
start?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe we should go Bible because that's what we do on this podcast.
yes, we
don't
do.
just talk about about random stuff all day, except for, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
so
man.
maybe we should go Bible. Let's talk Bible.
Okay.
Well, even though Hannah is not selfish, I think we all have that nature in us. You know, like that's biblical. Because the Bible says that we're all sinners. We've fallen short of the glory of God. And, the Bible says in Philippians 2:21, for all seek their own, not the things which are Jesus Christ's. Isaiah 53 and verse 6, all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. So that's the idea of selfishness. Romans 3:10, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that seeketh after God. They are all gone out of their own way. And so the idea is we all have this selfish nature in us, like we all seek our own things in us. And it's something that we struggle with. And when we're living for Christ, we have a new nature that wants to do good and wants to live for others. But we have an old nature that seeks our own. And it's something that we need to overcome.
We'll probably circle back around to this, Mackenzie, but this idea, but think about it. We were actually born selfish. And that's good, because when Claire gets hungry, she don't know any other way to communicate. What if she wasn't like, I need some food right now?
Yeah.
She cries because she's selfish.
It's in her nature, for sure.
She needs to be held. She's going to cry.
Yeah.
So literally selfishness, and maybe that's not what you'd call it, but I've heard that before, is that selfishness is how we survive as infants.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess so. There you go.
But so even to take that further, like kind of going with my thoughts here is like, but once we give our life to Christ, we're called to be made new. And the Bible talks about like the greatest commandment is to love God and then to love others as yourself.
That's right.
So he has to reteach us a new way, right? It's like we go from our old way of having selfishness to now it's like, now you need to treat others as like above yourself, right? Like you love others as you would want to be loved. So we have to learn how to not be selfish anymore.
Exactly.
Which is really hard.
Yeah, it's the whole idea of being selfless, and living for the whole Bible talks about that. Don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to think. The idea of humility is thinking of others more than yourself. That's a whole biblical idea. Christianity, humility. That's a Christian trait that was literally like the idea was kind of invented by Christians or invented by God. Living for others, not living for yourself.
Yeah, because that was frowned upon. That type of attitude, humility and selflessness, was frowned upon in like the Roman and Greek society. But you said that because the Bible says, "Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind." And everything always starts in your mind. Let each esteem other better than themselves. Philippians 2:3. But then that introduces, you talked about it being Christianity. That's verse 3. You go into verse 5 and, verse 4, let this mind be in you, which was also in Jesus Christ, or Christ Jesus. So in other words, Jesus Christ made himself of no reputation, became obedient unto death, and so forth. So literally Christianity is to be selfless. Yeah. It's to think of others.
And it's just kind of funny to like others. Kind of that what is that main character energy. That's the term I was looking for. Main character energy. Like we all have that in us, And I just think of it like throughout history, like we thought the earth was the center of all things. It's like our mind, like we're the center. Like, we're the center of everything. Like we just have that in us. And then when you get saved, it's like, no. Set your affection on things above. God's the center. The Son's the center. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. It's not about you. It's about God. And I think that's a good thing too, because it's not about you, your failings, your failures. It's about Jesus Christ. It's not about what you think about you. It's about what God thinks about you.
Yes.
All of it goes into that. Selfishness is a bad thing. Selflessness and thinking of yourself the way God thinks about you, it's a great thing. And it's the way to victory in the Christian life.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's the quickest way to like share the gospel without actually saying anything. I feel like that's that sets you apart more than any other character trait. Like everyone can be loving. Everyone can be joyful, like for a time, but it's like, if someone who's selfless is getting nothing for what they're doing, you know, and that's like just such an odd thing to do. Like it stops people in their track of like, why would you put the seat back up for the boys like that? Why, you know, like why?
My life's amazing.
Yeah, it really does turn heads. And I think like that's just such a easy way, not that it's easy, right? But it's like, that's a great way to be a witness.
So that would be, what does real biblical selflessness look like in everyday life? You just kind of mentioned
in the
a couple
little ways. Yeah. Does anything come to mind, like a story of somebody that's just like, wow, that was a really selfless thing to do? Or
so my mind goes to
things.
of what I thought was selfish. And again, this is like Daddy Bear coming out a little bit. I hope this person doesn't ever listen to it, but it just kind of dawned on me a little bit. We were having Era's birthday party, and we were really excited to have this family come. And, it's a sacrifice to drive up to be a part of the birthday and things like that. And I just remember this person was just like, you know what? I just had a busy week and I just don't feel like coming. I think I'm just going to do what's best for me and not come. And I feel really bad about it, but I'm just going to do what's best for me and not. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. But it just dawned on me. I'm like, a Christian would have come. You know what I mean? Like if this person really was a Christian, and this person isn't a Christian, which my mind went to that, but I'm like, that's what separates Christianity from everything else. It's not about what I think, or I just am going to stay home. It's like, it's going to mean a lot for us to go out of our way to go there. So we're going to go there. And so I don't know, my mind went to that instantly. The difference between selfishness, humanism, and what Christianity is. Christianity is living for others.
Well,
I feel like,
go ahead, Mackenzie.
I feel like we kind of I think we'll get into that later in the episode, because I think that's a huge part, the dilemma of is there a time where we can't be selfish? Is there a time where it's okay to be like, you know what, for my rest, for my peace, I can't come today. I need
that
rest,
100%. There's so much truth to that. Like Jesus himself withdrew from people to rest and pray.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself. You can't be your best self until you take care of yourself.
Yeah. You can't help others get to where you're not. And so if you're running on empty, and if you're burning out, whatever, it's like, you need to reset yourself. So but again, I think in our society, people definitely go way overboard.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not, and again, that I wasn't mad about that. Somebody doing that. It was just like when we made that birthday, I'm like, this person I know is going to back out on coming,
Really?
And then it happened. So it's like it's like kind of like, what is your besetting thing? Is this something that you continually do? So it's like, stop trying to get filled. Try to fill others.
Well, and here's a cool thing, because that just reminded me of the verse that says that we're to weep with those who weep and rejoice with those who rejoice. It's that's apathy.
Yeah.
So literally, a part of being selfless is, oh, you're happy, I'm going to rejoice with you. Mm-hmm. You're sad, I'm going to be sorrowful with you. I'm going to enter in.
Despite how I might feel.
Yeah, despite how I may feel. Oh, okay, you're excited about this? You know what? I'm going to celebrate this with you then.
Yeah, for sure.
That's empathy.
Yes. What did I say?
Oh, apathy.
I said apathy. Thank you,
Isn't
dude.
apathy laziness, kind of
apathy is reluctance to emotion.
Oh,
yeah,
so the opposite. Well, see, there we go.
Yeah, and I can do that too. I think about myself, because one of the things I said about the daily thing that I have written down is listen when you'd rather talk. And I've really tried to make a habit about this. Michael just called me out on this recently. It's just a major character flaw. No, I appreciate it. But I've tried to do this, and sometimes I'm
hurting everybody in my family. This person didn't come to my birthday. This person doesn't listen to me. Lord, forgive me. I feel bad.
I was about to call my dead aunt out.
Yeah,
I still might.
at least she's
throw her under the.
I'm sorry. She's in heaven. I know her. She's in heaven.
I was going to say throw her under the bus, but she got hit by a bus, so that would be inappropriate.
You're kidding.
I am kidding.
Oh my gosh!
She was in her little power chair and just pulled right out in front of it.
Oh,
but
stop it!
Not true.
Not true.
Not true. But she did die, and she was selfish.
How do people still listen to this podcast?
I don't know.
It's not good.
But okay, so Mackenzie, you come up and you're like, oh, hey, Jesse, how was your weekend? And I'm like, oh, Mackenzie, let me tell you. Yeah, and there again, I'm the main character. It's about me. But it's like being very intentional of trying to literally say, it was good. Tell me about yours.
Yeah.
But Michael said that I can do that. But with Michael, we go back and forth. And I feel like Michael's one that I'll probably never do that with, because I know he wants to hear my side. But what he called me out on is that he can start on his side of it, but by that time I'm moving on.
Yeah.
And so now I don't want to hear about his week, because we always talk about, especially if we see each other on a Sunday, which we do, maybe once a month or something. It'll just be like, tell me about something, we're all talking about our service, but sometimes if I start, it's just like, I don't even know that I check out. It's like, it's an unintentional selfishness, but for a person like me, obviously, listening when you'd rather talk, serving when it's inconvenient, giving without being seen, letting someone else be preferred. You know, maybe Ryan comes up, maybe Ryan did something that I asked him to do and it's a big success. You know, I'm just thinking of a scenario and everybody's like, oh man, Ryan just did a great job. Well, it was my idea.
Yeah.
You know, but no, just let
them have
just
the
let him have his
praise for
glory
it.
day in the sun.
Yeah.
So
Just like lifting others up.
Yeah. So just not being so selfish. I mean, it's not about you. Like, how can I make this about somebody else?
Yeah, it's just huge. And I need to confess, like, about not being that for my wife. You know what I mean? Like, I can just be so selfish with her. And
is it hard for you not to just take advantage of her selflessness?
Dude,
because you can do whatever you want to do and she's okay
honestly,
with it.
like,
She would say, yeah.
There's times where I've never been like that.
On purpose,
but I've caught myself at times thinking, oh, she'll be fine, I can get away with it. And like, no. Like, honestly, like, that's something that you can, because she's not going to say anything. She's not going to do anything. She's such a amazing wife that you could fall into that. And that is something that you need to, like, think about, you know, like, if you have a great wife that is okay with things, like, go out of your way to be there for her, man.
Well, and if
like,
you're going into a relationship, you know, marriage or whatever, it's like giving 100%. It's supposed to be 100.
Yeah.
And you don't give based on what the other person's giving.
Yeah, it's not
that's
50-50.
selfish.
It's 100.
Yeah, 100. But it's just like, well, she's not really giving her all right now, so I'm not going to give my all. But it's like, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, I do little things, and by the way, one of the things I think that's hard, not just for me, but a lot of men, like, I don't want to do the dishes. You know, but I'll do it because I want to give that effort to show that, hey, I love you. I know, and acts of service is like a thing for Melanie. So I'm going to do this. But then here's another thing to try to be unselfish. I've learned not to do it. I've almost broke myself from it completely. Hey, did you notice that did the dishes?
Yeah,
that
for the recognition.
You gotten your reward.
And then you blow it right there, you know, because it's selfish. It's like, but I'll try to do it. Not say a word about it. Did you notice it? And but I'll struggle because it's just like, well, she could be given more, so I'm not going to give, you know, that extra whatever.
Yeah.
So
I think that's good. I think, like, make a game of it. If you want to be like as like selfless as you can be, like, just make a game of, like, man, how much can I encourage when I walk into church? How much can I encourage other people, or how much can I ask them about their life, or how much can I, like, do without like going noticed?
Don't the Bible say something about that, Logan? Like, with as far as like
he was falling asleep over there. To
competing,
be honest.
it's like. The word isn't competing, but it was the idea of outdoing each other in charity or something.
I don't know.
Oh, there's that verse, man. But it goes along those lines of, like, almost like you're trying to.
My mind goes to Rockefeller and the Vanderbilt guy. Like
when they were competing, yeah.
But I don't know about Bible.
Yeah, no, there's a Bible verse that talks about, like, I don't know. I'm paraphrasing big time, about like outdoing each other in love or something.
Sure.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, if you want to get better at not being selfish, you were kind of talking about that though, Jesse, right? Like, you're talking about, like, things to help you to practically, like, not be selfish.
Yeah.
Like,
again, like, I think it's easy for us to be not selfish in things and easy for us to be selfish in things. And I think that's kind of important, because I would never consider myself selfish at first, because I'm like, no, I always care about what other people think. I'm always thinking about how they feel and things like that. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
But the thing that I struggle with selfishly is I still am going to do what I want to do. And that's something that I struggle with. Yeah, I will talk you and ask how you're doing and listen to you and things like that. But it's like, in the end, like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. Like, that's something that I struggle with.
Like, compromise, like having to give something up.
Yeah, giving something up, sacrificing, I think is a really big thing that I can struggle with selfishly. I will sacrifice for the Lord. I will sacrifice in ministry. Sacrificing for my wife or my kids or whatever, that can be difficult for me. That is like my big thing. Or my family. Ooh, like, I don't want to go over there on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go. I don't care, like, whatever. Like, that's that's selfish, you know? I don't know. I think about
what about, like, you know, I think about, like, if we have a meal over at the house and we have all the family over, and one of the things I just typically always try to do, I try to be, and I can hardly ever be the last one to go. because Melanie's going to be the last one to go.
Yep.
But I try not to be the first one in line. I try to make sure everybody that's there visiting goes through, gets their food first, be the last one to go through. And even then, sometimes I'll go through and there's only like one little helping of this one thing left, and I'll just leave it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, depending, now there's other times I won't, but there's times it'll be just like, you know what? I know that's a lot of people's favorite. That's why there's not much like broccoli casserole left. But you know what? I'll leave it. But then it'll be awesome because then all of a sudden Melanie's like, oh, I got a whole other one in the oven.
Yeah.
Because Melanie usually prepares, But anyway, whatever. It's like those little things that you try just to intentionally, and I feel like I blew it now because like, hey guys, let me tell you what I do.
Yeah. No.
Well, like, to be honest, I was like, that doesn't sound very good. Like, I was like, that's good. But like, I feel like we can do so much more.
Oh yeah.
Like my mind was like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, we should, sorry. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to be hard on myself. And I'm like, oh, okay, I do that. That's not good enough. You know what I mean? But not you, but like me. Like, so I'm not saying
no. Like,
you know what I mean?
Like you don't want to find justification in one of these small things that you.
Yeah. I'm like, I just like
that you're like, oh, I'm good.
I don't want to make myself feel better, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, what are some things that I can do?
Because we could always. Yeah, I think that's a good takeaway. Is like we can always be working on being more selfless.
Yeah.
And I think that was my point. Is I'm trying to like train myself in some of these ways.
Good.
Yeah.
But it's still. I think the reason I do that though is because it is such a battle, and I am so selfish that I'm just trying.
Yeah, is that hard for you to do? That one, or is it easy?
Not anymore. It's not.
Was it hard in the beginning?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would, because even like I'll still do this if we go to a big conference or something, and it's going to be like a buffet style type thing, and there's hundreds of people there. I don't know. I don't know if this selfish or smart, but dude. We can talk, but I'm going to be talking somewhere near where that line starts.
Oh,
when they finally bring the food out and say, okay, everybody can come.
But what's your reasoning why?
Cool.
I think your reason why makes a
I think that's
difference.
wisdom, dude.
Yeah, I think it's just like I hate standing in line.
Yeah.
I think it's not getting the food first. It's not standing in the line. I hate standing in the line. I don't know, but that's still selfish.
I don't know. I think so. Like, my thing with selfishness, I really think this is important, and I feel like this episode is more I think we think a little bit.
You guys are killing me.
But here's the thing. Like, I feel like we're very not selfish in the easy things, but I think really to not be selfish is you got to do something that's hard that you don't want to do. So really ask yourself that, like, what is the last thing you want to do? Having a dog in the house. Getting up to do the dishes.
See, this is
not
where
golfing.
I was going.
Things like that. Like, what is that hard thing that you don't want to do? You're being selfish. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I really think like, let's push the limit a little bit.
Like, you're going to stay and watch the kids and just say, Hannah, why don't you just ride up and see Caitlin? Y'all two go
I don't want to do
something.
That at all. I don't want to do that. Why? Because I'm selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it would be unselfish for me to do that. I should do that. I'm not going to take the easy way out and just get her a gift card or buy her something or whatever, or have us all go with the kids because she likes that, because I'm down for that. That's easy for me to do, but like having her go at her time, and me watching the kids.
Yeah, go meet with the sisters and Sioux Falls. Yeah, I got the kids.
I'm telling you, like, what is that hard thing?
It's ultimately
you don't want to
dying
do
to
it.
yourself. Dying to yourself.
Yeah,
it is.
It's like, it's super hard. And like the big thing that we were even talking about before the episode is like relationally, like whether like marriage. Marriage is hard. Like, marriage will really show you where you're selfish and like where you need to like serve someone else before yourself. I mean, like in friendships and like there's all different types of relationships. I mean, marriage is like such a big one, and especially for our young generation that are like, just like excited about marriage and like looking forward to it and stuff. There are things that you should do to prepare yourself well, because marriage is the mirror that's held up and shows you the ugliness of yourself.
Selfishness.
Yes.
For sure.
And I actually, I had a couple girls that they were like college, like newly college age girls. And we were talking about the best thing that you can do to prepare for marriage in that time of your life. And this sounds so radical, but I literally lived through it. It was to get a bad roommate. Have a bad roommate in college, because you are going to have to learn so quickly, like
Natalie,
how to
She's
lovingly.
not the bad roommate. She's just
ask the other girl.
Okay.
But really, like, you're training and you're learning how to be selfless, and marriage is the ultimate, like, man, you're going to have to, like, and even if you think your spouse is like perfect and you have the perfect spouse, you're going to have kids someday. And then you're going to have to be more selfless and more selfless. And you're going to grow up and
so hard.
Yeah. It's such a, like, no wonder God calls us to, it's like the greatest commandment. Like,
And okay, so is it easier to be selfless with other people than your family? Because I feel like that.
I think it can
It's
be.
very easy for me to be selfless with people outside of my family, but it's like that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I don't know, I'm just so convicted.
I don't think it costs as much being selfless with other people, because it's like just today. You know what I mean? Just like this one time, it's this one thing, but like,
I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of weird in this episode, but it's just like I feel like I'm just getting so worked up. And
it feels like God is really showing you something here.
I think so, honestly. It's like I'm convicted like hardcore right now, because like I'm just realizing how selfish I am with my family. Like, I'm such a selfish little stinker. And so that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I would never call myself selfish, because I'm really not selfish to others. But man, am I selfish to my family? Like, I don't know, man. And so I'm just wondering, am I the only one that it's easier with others?
No, I definitely can.
No, definitely it's easier with others. Yeah.
So I almost wonder, like, focus on your family. Like, if you're thinking about this episode, like, what can you do that's unselfish towards your family? Not just others, not just people in the church even, honestly, because it's easy to be selfless at church. I really think so, honestly. Like, we always go to that, but you guys are listening right now. You guys like to do that. You guys are selfless.
Give up your seed.
Yeah, you guys do that stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go hard. Like, what's the thing that you don't want to do with
something
your family?
radical?
Do something radical. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so good. So let's flip it, though. Is there ever a time where, and maybe we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, Michael did allude to it.
Is there ever a time where it's like, it's okay to be selfish? Because, but we were probably talking in the minority here. Like, you're probably right. Probably a majority of the people do need to hear you need to be more selfless. But is there ever a time where you can have permission to say, like, you know what, I really think I need to say no?
Yeah. So my mind goes to my wife, because she is just the most unselfish person I know. And there needs to be some times where and I've talked to her about that, where she needs to set up boundaries, rest, like, let's say no about the situation, something along those lines, because you need to be filled in order to fill. And if your cup.
So is Hannah able to set boundaries, or
she's gotten better at it? But that's something that she struggled with a lot for sure, and things like that. But it's like learning to set up those boundaries, I think, is a really big one, because you can't be who God called you to be. You can't be, who you're supposed to be if you're not filled. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be filled in order to fill others.
And I kind of have to too, because not only because I genuinely do love people, and one of the things. I think the thing I'm most passionate about when it comes to being a pastor is helping people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the best administrator in the world or anything, maybe not the best preacher in the world, but as far as just like, I genuinely care about people and like people. And I'm typically a people pleaser. Like, that's a weakness of mine. So therefore I can be a total yes. I'll never say no. I'll never, and it's like, but just quite honestly, I got to the point to where I was being worn so thin, that I had to start just setting some boundaries and saying, no, what about next week? Or, hey, maybe this is something I can get somebody to help you with. Or, like, there just had to get things to where I had to start setting some boundaries in certain areas.
Yeah. Certain areas I think is key too. But again, my mind goes to, I had to learn to set boundaries, ministry, with my extended family, things like that. I don't think I've ever had to set boundaries with my intermediate family or my.
Oh no, that's a good point. Yeah, I've never. Yeah,
again, my mind goes to that.
That's a good point.
I just think that's kind of a big thing too, because like sometimes we can take the easy way out and set boundaries with my kids or my wife or whatever, and it's like, I don't know if you need to set boundaries with that. Just.
No, I literally don't know if I don't know if I ever have or could ever think of a boundary that I've ever set, or can think of justifying a boundary that I would set, at least with my wife and kids. And I even have adult kids, but again, I don't have adult kids that are like on drugs and bugging me for money all the time either. But
you have good kids.
So I mean, that's a different situation, but yeah.
I don't know. I like this. When rest turns into avoidance and boundaries turn into excuses. That's when it's no longer healthy.
Yeah, because I think it's almost like people that have drawn boundaries because serving the Lord is hard.
Yeah.
I think I got to draw a boundary, and I can't I'm not going to do this at church anymore. And it's like, and we're big about that. That's actually one of our core values is we serve from a place of health. Because we want to make sure that you aren't, hey, we want you to look forward to serving. We want you to look forward to coming to church.
We don't want you to burn out.
Yeah, we don't want you burn out. We don't want you like dreading. And, if you need to take some time, we want you to take some time. We want you to be healthy. Like Michael said, you got to be filled in order to fill. But at the same time, ministry's hard.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you're going to be excited about coming to church every time.
Nope.
Or doing your serving every time or working with the kids every time. Like sometimes you're not. And you can't just say, oh, I thought I'd be happy all the time, but since it don't always make me happy, I'm going to draw a boundary. And it's not about our happiness. It's about doing the will of God and there is a cost that's worth paying and so forth. So yeah, I think, to your point earlier, like maybe there are times that we got to draw boundaries, but I think it's a little excessive, and I think it's a little selfish in the day and age in which we live.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we want to add before we wrap up?
I love my wife.
Yeah, I know.
She's just the greatest. I'm serious, man. Like, she's so good, and I need to call her and tell her I love her, and I'm sorry for being a selfish little boob.
Oh,
After we play golf and leave her home with the kids a little longer.
That's such a way to end it.
Shut up.
Yeah. After we go play golf.
I know.
I'll make it up to her. All right. The worst part is, never mind. All right, we're moving on.
No, tell us.
Okay. All right. I asked Logan if he wanted to golf after the podcast today, and Logan's like, no, I really need to be home with Lily. We got to get settled in. I'm going to golf a lot this summer and everything, but I really need to be with Lily. And I'm just like, you jerk, I'm going with Jesse alone. You know? But it's like, I wasn't like, oh, you know what, you're right.
And the bad thing is it's like 50 degrees outside with 25 mile an hour winds.
It's not golfing weather.
It's not just like, oh, you can't miss a day like today. Not many of these left.
It's like rainy.
We're going
it's
golfing.
Spitting wind.
Come on,
it's
guys.
Cold.
Please.
It's nasty.
We want to golf, please. Let's golf.
Maybe you get a golf sponsor. All this golf you've been talking about, maybe people will sponsor.
Hey, I would love it.
You know what? Driving here today, if you're still listening to this episode, I'm first of all just sorry.
Jim's not.
Sorry.
No, Jim's definitely not. Jim is skipping.
But hey, we got to talk more about like the biggest way that our podcast is being shared isn't just like on social media and stuff. It's like people sending it to other people.
It is.
So if you find, maybe not this episode, I don't know if it was helpful or not, but
I don't know if this one was our best.
Be sending and sharing the podcast. Like that is the biggest way that it's growing. And we're so encouraged. We're weekly hearing from people like, just how it's been a testament to them and stuff. So if the podcast has been a blessing to you, please feel free to share that with, whoever God lays on your heart. So
great.
Okay. I think that we probably better wrap up there.
Yep.
Otherwise it's just going to go more south.
I know.
Okay, y'all. We'll see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Young Not Dumb. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. And we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on social media or send us your thoughts or questions to our website, youngnotdumbpodcast.com. And hey, if you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend or leave us a review. Until next time, stay young but not dumb, and we'll see you soon.